at now working with text inside of After Effects. So if you take a look at your timeline, you can see that we have a picture that's we've fit to our comp. We also have our logo that we placed on top. We've scaled down the logo around 25%, and we've placed it inside of our safe area. It's a good idea maybe to lock this background layer. I'll just simply come here and select the lock to lock that layer. And since the logo is in position, I'll lock that as well. Before I do lock that, I'm going to press S to close down the scale values, and I'll lock that layer. Perfect. So now what we'll do is work with some text. And to work with text, we need to grab the type tool. If you're working in the standard workspace, oops, I'll just reset the standard workspace. Then at the top, you're going to see your tool panel, similar to the tool panel in Photoshop. If I hover over a tool, the tooltip appears. Looks like the horizontal type tool keyboard shortcut is Command T. For you guys, Control T. So I'll press Control T, and now I have access to the type tool. Look at the icon for the type tool. It's pretty funky, huh? But all you have to do is click on screen to bring up your cursor, and we'll type in welcome to Glen A. My text is going off the screen. That's okay. We'll adjust it in a second. When you're done with the type tool, I highly recommend to put it away by grabbing the selection tool. This is your default tool. So now a couple of things are happening. Here's my text. I'm going to reposition it. I can see it's still a little bit too big. And I can see down here I have a type layer that's been created. And you can take a look at the layers and see how this is set up. Right now this layer is locked, so it's saying, hey, you can't do anything with me. I'm locked. But I can select that layer. And I want to see the name, so I'll just open the name up. Welcome to Glen A. There it is. What I need to do now is maybe resize the name. So there should be a character panel. If you don't see your panel, you can go up to Window and choose Character. But there's our character panel. Initially in the paragraph panel, my text was set to center. So I was getting that type of formatting with my text. But you guys can come in here, and for the size, I'll crank down the size by scrubbing the value left and right, and I've toned down the size. I can expand this panel to see more of the attributes. If you're concerned about the color, you can simply click here to bring up the color picker panel. And we can click around here to sample a new color. If you want, I'll cancel out. You can even grab your eyedropper and select this color. And you can see we apply it from the object. If you want a drop shadow, then you're going to have to apply an effect, because unfortunately there's no drop shadow attribute. You may want to apply a stroke to this. You can bring up the stroke value. Right now it's set to none, but maybe you want to apply a white stroke. The thickness of the stroke is right here. And remember, we always want to be conscious of probably staying inside of this outer box. But the way you would have to actually do this is maybe have a TV hooked up to your computer to actually see how you're working. And that's how professional edit bays are doing. They actually have a TV hooked up as the monitor going out so that they can actually see how the TV is going to look, or how the object is going to look on TV. And this is how I have my workstation set up at home. You have to, because you can't use the monitor as your method of reference. You get burnt every time. Okay, but you can spend some time formatting. If you're a character maniac, then go in here and spend hours selecting fonts. Remember, you can click in here to highlight and use your up and down arrows to cycle through fonts. That's always cute. I like that. Oh, that's a nice little clean font. Banana Split. I'll use that one. You're not going to have the fonts I have because I download a lot of fonts from the internet and use them in my projects. But there's our text. In our next tutorial, we'll take a look at applying basic text animations to this. We'll export this and then we're done. But again, this is all you guys have to do for your projects. Hopefully you're following along so that you can understand what's happening. If not, you have to watch the tutorials.